Welcome back to JB Reviews. Today we're going to do a video on a 2021 Ram 2500 Laramie and Limited Longhorn. The purpose of this video is to show you around these trucks and also give you a price comparison and payment comparison. So I am at Criswell. I'm going to call over there today and see if they give you some pricing on these trucks, and then we're going to put the price in the payment calculator so you guys have a better idea of how much these trucks will cost you monthly if you decide you want to finance it. But be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. So as I mentioned, this is going to be a 2021 Ram 2500. Now, obviously you guys know that options are going to be subjective. So base price, I'm going to include destination in this. So it's going to be $54,480 here. And as far as your optional equipment goes, this thing has a good amount of options on it. So check this out. Here's everything on this side. Be sure to pause if you like. And then here's everything on this side. Now, both trucks are going to have a Cummins too, so that's just going to be perspective on pricing. $76,270. So as far as all the options that you see on this paper, you're going to have $21,790 worth of options. All right, now let's go ahead and take a look at the window sticker for the Limited Longhorn. So this is going to be the window sticker for the 2021 Ram 2500 Limited Longhorn for cab. Base price is $59,980, but the price we're going to use for base is going to be $61,675. So as I mentioned, I'm going to add destination here. That way we have a good basis point, because you have to pay destination even if you don't get this truck with options, okay? And check out the options below. Technology group, safety group, and then everything else that you see here. And total price is $80,855. Now this truck has $19,180. So what is the difference between this total price and the Laramie next door? Let's compare. All right, so Laramie is going to be $76,270. Your Limited Longhorn, it's going to be $80,855. So sorry about that. $80,855. So that's a total difference with options at $4,585. Without options at $7,194. Now most of you guys are probably saying, well, this is not a really true fair comparison, because some of these options are available for both trucks. For example, the Ramboxes you can get on the Limited Longhorn. So as far as this goes, this kind of is not apples to apples. But one thing I want you guys to take away from this video when I show you around these trucks is whenever dealers build trucks specifically for the lot, 9 times out of 10 they always put a lot of options on this truck, and you have to do the research, because a lot of things that are available for this are standard on this truck. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Laramie, then I'm going to show you guys around the Longhorn, and then I'm going to show you guys a payment comparison between both trucks. That way you have an idea of how much you're going to pay monthly. I'll use 60 months and 72 months as a basis point, and then that way you guys have a better idea of the payments. If you are looking at a Laramie, you do get LED headlights standard. Now they're going to have a slight difference in the styling, because these are going to be reflective style low beams, and you have a high beam reflector. You are going to have the accent lights around the headlights that are LED too. And these bulbs down here are going to be incandescent. And just below, you do have LED fog lights. These are going to be reflective style. Also note that your tow hooks are going to be black. And this truck does have your parking sensors all around the front too. This one does have an optional forward-facing camera for the 360. You can instantly see a difference in the styling on this truck. You do have a nicer, bolder front grille in comparison to the Laramie. Now this truck does have LED headlights, however this does have a projector style headlight, and this is going to be accent lights, and they have a strip just below it right here. The difference here though is these are going to be LED turn signals, so these have a little bit nicer look to them. And just below you have the same reflective style fog lights, and they're going to be LED. Now as you guys can see, this truck does have a chrome style tow hook. Looks a little bit more upscale. The Laramie does have a sport package on this one too, so it does have the painted bumpers. You can get that with this truck also, so if you prefer that over the chrome, you can get that on the Longhorn. As far as the powertrain goes, these trucks were both optioned with this 6.7 liter turbo diesel Cummins, good for 370 horsepower, 850 pound-feet of torque. You also have for 2021 the new CP3 fuel pump. This is a big deal for some guys. They think that the CP 4.2 is going to grenade really quickly. I haven't heard of any local issues with this. Just as a reminder, I mean, a lot of people have been asking me, hey, are you going to trade your truck in for 2021? Absolutely not. I feel like I do a lot of stuff to my truck to make sure I don't have any fuel pump issues. Like I use diesel clean at least once a week, and I typically get my diesel from a reputable place also. It's like a truck stop called Southern States, so they have premium diesel, and I don't think I'll have issues with it. As far as transmission goes too, you're gonna have the 68 RFE. It is a Chrysler transmission built in-house, and this does have a 373, which is the only rear axle available for the Cummins for the 2500s. Off to the side, you do have an available 20-inch wheel for the Longhorn, and this one is going to be wrapped in these terrible I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say it. It's wrapped in these Firestone Transverse tires, 285 60/20, and this does have the built-in because it has the off-road package. Over to the side here, the Laramie does have the standard 18-inch wheels. You can get a 20-inch if you like, but this one was not option with that. So I guess if you think about price point, this truck has the 20s, this truck has the Ramboxes, so it kind of does level out a little bit, right? This does have the off-road package too, so it has the Bilsteins front and rear, and that's really the only differences on the sides here. I mean, they both have the 360 camera. As you guys can see, they have the clearance lamps, which are optional on both trucks. They're LED. This one does have the power deployable running boards. This is a $995 option. Every Laramie I've seen so far has these wheel-to-wheel running boards, so I have not found one yet with power deployable steps, but people in the comments have said the 2021s do have these standards, so I haven't seen one yet, and I think that the dealership's probably just optioning them with these running boards. If you're not familiar, Ram does offer the Ramboxes as an option. Now these do come in handy if you do like to carry heavy tools, things like that. On the side, it just gives you more storage. It helps you to organize a little bit better. It does make the bed a little bit smaller in comparison to the trucks without Rambox. I mean, it's a little bit wider in comparison. You cannot get the fifth wheel prep package with the Ramboxes though, so if you would like that package, you would have to skip one or the other basically. But if you want to spray and bed liner, it is optional on a Laramie. So that's one good benefit for the Longhorn if you think about it. Now this does have the LED bed lights back here too, and it does give you the LEDs up top, and it does have a camera to show you what's going on in your cargo area too. This truck has the LED bed lights too. You just click the switch on the side here and it turns them on. It also has a 7 and 4 pin connector, and it has a cargo plug too, which is new for 2021. And you have the same LED lights up top with the cameras. You have two cameras, one for the mirror on the inside and one for the 12-inch display to show you what's going on in the bed here. Both trucks are going to have similar rears. This one just has a painted bumper, which is really the only difference, and of course your badges. And as I mentioned, you can get painted bumpers on the Longhorn too. You have a class 5 receiving hitch, 2.5-inch receiver, and the same thing goes for this truck too. If you like the black interior, you cannot get this on a Longhorn. Now they do give you black accents, but you only can get like a tan or saddle color interior. And they do add suede accents here and also on the seats too. However, there is more noticeable hard plastics throughout the interior in comparison. And I don't know, I think that the overall design of this truck, you can tell there's a difference. I mean, stepping inside, your gauges are slightly different. Your steering wheel doesn't have any wood trim on it, and you'll see kind of those differences when we walk over to the Longhorn. But 12-inch display is optional for this truck, so it comes standard with a 8.4 without navigation. Okay, inside of the limited Longhorn, they do give you leather trim up top here, pretty much the same thing that you saw over inside of the Laramie. However, they do give you wood trim. This is real wood trim too, throughout the interior too. I like the overall styling too, even though the interior is not completely black if that's what you want. Your floors are black, the sides of the seats are black, and also the back of the seats are going to be black too. So you do have a predominantly black interior if you think about it. Now when you step inside this truck, you can really see the overall fit and finish come to life better. Like, even check out your gauges, like they look a lot better in comparison with the Laramie. You have the wood trim on the steering wheel, and they also give you this nice accent here. The stitching looks a little bit more upscale, and as I mentioned earlier, this is real wood trim. I love the badge. Looks really, really, really nice. And even up top here, I mean, just check out the attention to details. Both trucks, I didn't mention this on the Laramie, but both trucks are available with the Harman Kardon. And even though this is a top of the line trim, the 12-inch display is an option for this truck too. But if you look at the price points and you love this cowboy feel and look of this truck, I strongly would recommend doing some research to see which one will fit best for you. Now, one thing also to mention too is these seats are real leather. And as opposed to having, suede inserts, they give it to you all leather. So as you guys saw on the side of the door in the Laramie, this was suede. This is leather accented. Now, one thing that I think is an advantage also, and I'll show this to you over in the Laramie, is the center console. You guys see how basically a cover for the cup holders and also for your storage. Let me show you what it looks like inside of the Laramie. This is what it looks like inside of the Laramie. Again, still really nice. But when you check out your center console storage, you have open cup holders, open storage. I mean, it just looks a lot nicer inside of the Limited Longhorn. And as you guys saw on the Limited Longhorn 2, you had a nice wood trim piece that pretty much covered this door, or cover, whatever you want to call it. And this was all wrapped in leather too. So this is all, it's not hard plastic, it's soft touch, but it's like a vinyl material, and it doesn't look as nice as it did on the Limited Longhorn. I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but even though that you don't get the 12-inch display standard, the 8.4 display does come with navigation standard. The Laramie, you do have the option that, so it just comes with Apple CarPlay, but there's no navigation, so just keep that in mind too. I'm sitting out back in the Laramie. Now, as you guys can see just below here, you have heated seats. One thing to keep in mind is heated seats is an option back here, and ventilated seats is an option up front. It still comes with heated seats standard on the Laramie, however, you would have to opt for the ventilated seats. So if you want the Limited Longhorn, those things are going to come standard too, so just keep that in mind. And overall, like I said, interior is pretty much the same back here. Nothing really that pops out at you in both trucks. Let's just walk over to here. The only thing that you can see that's noticeably different is that they give you this belt buckle out back, and it does dress up the interior really nicely. As far as the numbers go on this truck here, you do have a gross axle weight rating up front at 6,000 pounds. The rear is going to be 6,040. You have a 10,000 pound GWR. All in total payload capacity is actually kind of high for the Limited Longhorn. It's at 2,101 pounds. The numbers you guys just saw on the Limited Longhorn are going to be the same here, but this number is going to be slightly different. So this is a lower trim level, and this has a payload of 2,031 pounds. So I don't know, like I don't really know what would have increased the weight except for the Ramboxes. This is probably the only heavy feature that this truck has that would have added more weight to the truck. So yeah, just do your research and see which one you want, because there's not a huge difference, but every pound counts when you're about to tow a trailer. Last thing I'll say is this: I do like the Laramie slightly better than the Longhorn, only because you can keep the price point a lot better on this truck if you don't necessarily have to have a lot of things that come standard on this truck. Now, I will say I would like to have a spray and bed liner from the factory. I just like the idea of it just being done. It's covered under warranty, and that's probably one thing I like that this has an advantage of. But the biggest thing I like about the Laramie is that you have the option for the night edition package. You cannot get these packages on a limited Longhorn. So if you like the black wheels, the darkened tail lights, the black grille up front, like this truck has a really nice setup. Has the accents on the headlights. This looks really aggressive. Like this is just a regular Laramie here, and just look at the differences in the overall truck. I think that this truck looks a lot better, and this is probably what I would purchase. But again, if you gotta have a lot of options on your truck, you have to figure out for yourself which one's gonna work better for you, because the limited Longhorn does have a lot more things available as standard equipment. Alright, so let's go through this pretty quickly. So the 2021 Ram 2500 Laramie MSRP, as you guys saw, was $76,369. Discount was $6,845 with a sale price, which is this minus this, gives you this. And then the final price, this is going to be an estimate. I did do taxes, tags. In Maryland, they charge $500 for documentation fees. You guys, again, this is a discount I got. I'm just giving you guys a basis point here for the price and for the payment. Now for the Longhorn, MSRP was $80,954. Now the discount on this truck is a little bit higher at $8,055. If you're not familiar, higher trim levels have deeper margins in them, so it's probably a good idea to consider this truck if you do like a lot of options, because if you add a bunch of stuff to this Laramie, it does drive the price up a lot and you don't get as much discount. Now sale price on this was $72,998, and if you take the final price here, $80,163.58 on the road. It is an estimate. As far as the discounts go, if you take the $8,000 subtracted from the $6,845, that's the discount here. The price difference is basically right here. Final price difference is going to be the final price of the Longhorn subtracted from the Laramie with taxes and tags estimated out. Take a look at your payments. $80,163.58. I'm just going to combine the sale price here. I did zero for taxes and everything like that. So at 2.59 for 5 years, again, you have to have really good credit to get these rates. Your monthly payment is $1,425. A lot of money, but it's a low term, so it's a low interest rate, and you can get that bad boy paid off. Obviously, if you pay it off quicker, you don't have to pay all the interest, but all in, this is what you would have paid for this truck. Now this is for the Laramie Longhorn. This is a steep payment. So if you check out the Laramie does go down slightly at $1,360.24. And again, this is still using 2.59, and this is using 5 years. Now, all in all, the difference in the payments is only going to be $63.64. So not a big difference if you think about it. I mean, granted, yeah, if you do that over the course of a year and 5 years, obviously it is a lot more money, but for what you're getting in each truck, you have to really consider and factor it out to what you think is beneficial for you. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 6-year term. All right, so 72 months is going to make the payments look really nice. Now at 3.29, 6 years, this is an estimate. Not everyone's going to qualify for this, so you have to obviously have pretty good credit for this. $1,228.41 is what I'm getting here. Now you're going to pay a lot more interest over the course of just one extra year, but your payments do go down considerably throughout the year. Now as far as the Laramie goes, $1,173.59 is the payment here. And the difference between the Longhorn and the Laramie at 72 months was about $54. So I hope this was helpful. Be sure in the comment section if you'd like for me to do more payment comparisons. I'll be more than happy to do this. I can even compare 1500, 2500, 2500, 3500, and just give you a good idea of what you're going to pay monthly. But I hope this was helpful. Again, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys soon.